Last time, 10 words became a rulebook, and the rulebook became a database, an API, a running app, and documentation in 10 languages, all generated, with almost nothing spent on tokens, and only one thing was left to build. And that's the user experience. I mean the screens that a customer actually sees and touches. That is where the tokens that are left actually get spent. So let's spend some and watch what the job looks like now. Say the storefront needs a VIP badge. Here is the entire specification. If customer.isVIP is true, then it gets a star. The UI never learns what makes someone a VIP because it doesn't need to. It just reads an answer that the database already computed. Which means the definition of VIP lives in exactly one place, owned by the one person responsible for it. It is not rederived on every screen, and it doesn't need to be pasted into every prompt, even though every screen that will ever exist asks the same question. Is this customer a VIP customer? And gets back the same answer. Which really kind of rewrites the economics of the whole thing. A traditional build spends tokens on 5 surfaces, and then keeps spending to hold the 5 in agreement. This build mostly spends tokens on 1. And the one that's left is the simplest of the 5. Screens that can mostly just read answers directly, and the tokens you do spend buy more than they used to, because many rule-specific features have a one-time install cost, and then simply follow along from that point forward. For example, this is the admin portal from part 1, with the same 5 customers, same stars. But now, if we turn on provenance, then every computed value has a small function glyph. If we hover over the VIP flag, then the real derivation pops up. The rule, in plain English, straight from the rulebook. And now, if we click on total sales, it takes us to this page, which is ground truth itself. The raw number someone actually typed in with nothing upstream of it. One more click brings you back up to the VIP rule, down to the ground truth, total sales, and back. Starting with a rulebook, nobody needed to write a word of it. Let's think through pricing the traditional version. An LLM reads your backend, summarizes the logic, and then writes a beautiful bespoke tooltip. Call it $5 in tokens, and it's correct exactly as long as the rule holds still. But rules never hold still for long, right? The day the rule moves, that tooltip is instantly wrong. And hopefully a customer doesn't find it before you do. So every time the rules change, you are paying to re-explain it, to maintain it, to keep it in sync. And month after month, the red line staggers up. The Effortless version, by contrast, cost about $1. Once the rulebook was linked to React, a single attribute on the badge you already render is the only touch point. Naming the rule. Customer.isVIP. Same graph. Same months. The green line also keeps rising. You are still building screens after all, but it climbs slowly, and it doesn't need to keep doubling back to re-explain anything. The red line lurches up with every rule change. 15 minutes into the project, the 2 curves are already pulling apart. And it can't go stale. Last time, VIP moved from 100 to 200, and the stars moved on their own. When we hover again, though, the explanation is already right. Nobody touched the badge. Nobody touched the hookup. It was never describing the code. It was describing the rule. Which leaves the LLM one job. The only thing it is ever responsible for is proposing a change to the rulebook. There is still a backend. There is still an API and a security layer. They just cost almost nothing to keep in sync, because they all follow the rulebook independently, on their own. If we ask any surface the same question, the same answer comes back. The rule is the same rule everywhere, by construction, not by discipline. One rulebook and most of the downstream infrastructure is just along for the ride, and the things you do pay for get cheaper every time you use them. It's like no code without the vendor. Your rulebook is just a JSON file, and JSON files don't have a vendor. That is the effortless experience. Next time, we'll be adding row-level security on top of this, effortlessly. Thank you, as always, for joining us on this effortless experience. Your rulebooks are waiting at effortlessapi.com.